right, good morning. Today we are looking at a dice roll assignment, which is one of my favorite assignments. It's relatively simple, but we're going to walk through it real quick just so everybody knows what's going on. This is a program that I like because it's actually useful. I'm sure you've seen there are apps all over iPhone, all over things like that, that basically simulate rolling dice. If you were to be wanting to play a board game or something like that, and you suddenly find yourself that your brother or sister misplaced the dice and you don't have anything to play with, you can download an app and the app will just do it for you. This is kind of creating your own version of that on Scratch. So if you were ever super desperate and didn't have a phone to work off of, but you had a computer, um, you could use this to roll your dice for you. So the studio name, obviously, when you're done, is called Dice Roll. This activity time is 2 days. It shouldn't really take you 2 days. But I know that when I assign this in class for in-person class, like everything used to be, I would have normally given you 2 days for this because sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. But essentially, you're going to create a program. It only uses 3 different sprites. So 2 of those sprites are going to be dice that switch back and forth between 6 costumes or the 6 different sides of the dice. And then that happens every time the third sprite is clicked. So the third sprite is essentially just a button that you click that tells your program that you want the dice to roll for you. And as you've seen in the past, and as I will continue to do for all of our projects or all of our assignments, right here in this box is all of the code that you will need. You will not need anything that is not in this box. If you want to go the extra step and add something into your project, that's fine. But this is all you're going to need, is just these pieces of code right here. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Here's my project. Click the green flag to get everything to start. When I click this green button, you're going to see that the dice are going to alternate between all 6 of the sides until they finally stop. And that would be my dice roll. So let's take a look. Right, so I just rolled 5 plus 6 is 11, right? Every time I click this, it changes. So I click and it goes just like this. So this is the button. This is the third sprite that I was talking about. And then these are each their own individual sprites that have 6 different costumes. So I will show you what that looks like. Give me 1 second. All right, so the first thing to show you is the costumes, right? So each dice, you have 2 of them, obviously, right here and right here. You are going to add each of the individual sides of the dice as a costume. So each dice is going to have 6 costumes. The easiest way to do this is just Google image and search, dice side 1, dice side 2, and then add them all in as costumes. I would imagine, let me see if I can figure this out really quick. You can add costumes with this button. So then you're going to upload, you're going to save the file, and then you're going to upload it as an image. So you'll have your 6 different dice right here. The third one is just a button, so that only has the 1 costume that looks just like this. One other thing to show you. The other thing to show you here is this pick random from 1 to 6 block. This is a block that you have not seen, since we started using Scratch. So just a quick little hint and tip on that. It's down here in the green operators section. You'll see it right here. So you'll notice on here I have them separated, but I'm going to give you a little hint here. I created an extra sprite on this just because I didn't want to use one of the sprites that I actually needed for the project, because that's going to show you the answers. So your sprite is going to be switching costumes, but you obviously want it randomized, right? So if you kept putting switch to dice 3, it's going to roll a 3 every single time. So what you can do, and since you'll have 6 sprites to choose from, you'll have something that looks like this, and this block can go right in here. So ultimately, this will be what you end up using, right? Switch costume to, and then you have a randomized 1 through 6, so that it will switch to a different time every time, a different number every time you end up clicking your button. The other thing that I've been getting a lot of and seeing a lot of is a lot of people doing the work for some of these projects, but not submitting them. So I think there's a little bit of a forgetfulness as to how to turn these in. I have already clicked the share button, so that is why it doesn't say share. Instead, it already says that it has been shared. But once you are done with your project, that's the button you're going to click right here, the shared button for you. Since you haven't clicked it yet, I would imagine it will be orange. So it'll stand out a lot. But anyway, after that, it'll take you to a page that looks just like this. Make sure to give it a title. I even put some instructions in here. Click the button to make the dice roll. And then the last thing you're going to do is click Add to Studio. Obviously, I have a ton of different studios from over the years. The studio for this one is called Dice Roll, which isn't on here yet, but it will be for you. So you just go ahead and click this little plus arrow. It'll turn green. It'll give you a check mark, and that will tell you that you are good to go. Just a reminder again, this assignment is for 2 days. So the next you will be hearing from me is on Wednesday. Hope you guys are all doing great. We'll talk to you guys next time.